Hello and welcome, and in this video I'm going to go through 5 key questions that most artists ask themselves when they begin their painting. Number 1 is a really pressing question is how do you turn small paintings into large ones? The second one is where do you start? The third one is what's the process? The fourth one is what do you do if you get stuck? And the fifth one is how do I know when a painting is finished? So I'm going to take you through this whole process and show you how it works and how you can adapt this to your own painting. Now this is the third video of a series that I've been doing on large paintings, and I'm going to take you through this whole stage with the process right through to the finish. I'm Joy Fay. I'm a visual artist and teacher, and I've been teaching for many years, helping students to develop their skills, their creativity, and their confidence in their painting. And if you like this video and you love to learn how to paint abstract art, then subscribe to the channel, press the like button and the notification, and you'll get lots more interesting tutorials on how to make your art fantastic. So without further ado, let's get started. So I started here. Now it doesn't really matter whether you start on a blank piece of paper or you're going over a painting. The starting is the same. So you can see those in the first 2 videos of this series. So it went through all these different stages till I arrived here. Now, if you like, I was starting again from here. And the process here is to go back to your play paintings. And here you get lots of different ideas that you can use in your painting as references and prompts to help you get started. And this process works like magic with whatever you're going to do. So now I'm on stage 3 and gone through some interesting processes, and you can see I've turned it up so it's portrait. I decided that if I want to really make changes, rather than stay with the landscape view, I wanted to do it this way. So again, it changes again. And the first thing I'm going to do is to use my sandpaper to sand it down in some areas to get some texture for the paint underneath to show through. You can get an electric sander. I don't have one, but I'm using very thick sandpaper here. And I'm just going to see, what happens when I use this. So let's make a start. So I've speeded this up a bit because, you don't want to just watch me sanding the whole painting. But, what's so interesting is going through this process and how you connect to what you're doing and how it feels. You're putting your heart and soul onto canvas or paper, and you want to really feel connected to it. Now I'm actually layering it with the transparent gesso. This gives me again a good foundation for painting over the painting, and especially when you've got a lot of layers, it's good to put this translucent, transparent gesso on to give you a nice foundation for painting over it. So all this is preparing, ready to get going with the actual painting, and which is what we're going to do next. And I've now got some woody pencils, crayons. I've got just some different colours that I will just do a little bit of drawing on and see where that might take me. Drawing into a painting, is a great way to reconnect to your work, to loosen up, relax, and sort of start, feeling how you feel about your painting. And, it's a great way to start. So I'm now going to actually start painting. I've mixed some of my white and yellow ochre on my big palette. And, I will cover a lot of it up. But as you'll see as we go. Now I've got the pictures at the side of me, excuse me, just to kind of keep my feeling um, in check. The colors that I really like, some of the shapes. So they're there as kind of a reference. Not that I'm, copying any of them exactly. I'm just using some of them for focus and feeling. And I think this is, again, very helpful when you've gone through this whole process of doing your, playthings and seeing where it takes you, and to continue that into the big painting, because that was the intention. The intention is to transfer that feeling onto a larger canvas, which is, part of the whole process, and it is what I'm doing. So it's good to use those as reference, and then obviously allow the thing to unfold as you go, which is exactly what I do, as you will see as we progress. So, it's just a question of keeping in the zone without thinking about it too much. Just keep that connection with yourself and with the painting as you go forward. Obviously, not to be intimidated by a larger canvas. You know, once you get into the zone, that fear factor, disappears. And if you have your references, you can, just feel where you've put marks, how they work as composition and as design, and it gives you some confidence and backup, if you like. So I'm using my big silicone brush here. I'm drawing some things in to pick up some of the color from underneath, as you'll see. And again, this is, a lovely process to explore and get the feeling of the history of the painting as you go. And it's such an interesting thing that I hear so many times from students about starting a painting and how to use the small paintings um, into a large one. And, if you have got lots of different things that you have been experimenting with, that you like, you can use those as a reference to get started. And it really helps you get over that kind of fear of a blank canvas or a blank piece of paper. And it gives you a fantastic starting point. So I really recommend the more play paintings that you do, the more confident that you get anyway, and then the ones that you like, pick out the things that you like about them, the shapes, the colors, etc., and start that as a starting point with the painting. And as you know, this painting has gone through many different stages, and it started as an old painting that I'd done years ago, and a lot of things have changed since then, and it's great to kind of use that as a beginning space, because it's not a white canvas or a white piece of paper, and literally just dive in. And when you have these reference and prompts with your play paintings, they really help you stop getting stuck. They keep your ideas fresh, so you can refer to them. So if you get in a muddle, you can say, okay, what worked on that, let's use that, which is really helpful. Keeping in the zone with a painting is really important, because once you sort of start connecting to it, and you get in the flow. And I think this is one of the major things that, in my experience as a teacher for many years, a lot of students have a challenge with is, they get so far and then they get stuck. What do I do next? That, and obviously, as I mentioned earlier, starting a painting, where to start. So your play paintings are such a good way to overcome that initial fear. And then as you're continuing with it, where do you go? What next to do? So with your references and your prompts, that helps. The next thing that you really want to be thinking about is your color palette and then your color values. To make a painting really interesting, you need a combination of lovely color values. And what does that mean? That means looking at lights and darks, looking at saturated color and transparent color, and textures. So a way to do this is to have a look at your colour wheel and see what your opposite colour is, or your complementary colour. Because as soon as you put a complementary colour in, you're going to lift both colours. But your primary colour, say my primary colour here is the blue. So I'm looking at the complementary colour of the blue. So it's sort of towards orangey yellow, and that lifts everything up. So when you're doing your painting, have a look at your color contrast. It's really important. Now, if you really want to take your painting to the next level and you're serious about wanting to develop your skills, then I have many courses that I'm teaching all these techniques in very much more detail. You can find all the different classes that I do on my website at joyfayartist.com. I also have a free mini course which will get you started and show you some really good basics for beginning your painting, looking at colour and contrast and composition. Just cover it briefly. And then my main course, which is like a foundation course, Abstracts Made Simple, goes into it in a lot of depth. And then I have many other courses on composition, on color mixing, on textures, on what else? Lots of different things that I'm doing on a lot on collage as well, which they're not very long. They're a couple of hours, but they really help you get these skills under your belt to increase your confidence. And it's that confidence that pushes you forward. To get over all the fears of what you're doing and how you're doing it. I also have a membership group, and in that membership group, now there are 9 different masterclasses to choose from, covering again all these main aspects to develop your skills. And that's really growing, and people are really enjoying that. And there's a 14-day free trial time that you can have to come and have a look at it and see if some of the classes resonate with you. We do different classes and then challenges, all to help you, increase your knowledge and understanding of your painting, to give you satisfaction, to feel really great about your art and proud of what you're doing. So a few things to think about. Plus, which I'm very excited about, I'm running 2 retreats next year, 2024, here in Spain, and the creative art retreats, and we're going to do a lot of intuitive painting. Plus, I've got somebody who's coming in to do some soft yoga and creative dance. And it's going to be very exciting. It's at a wonderful place called the Little Alhambra, which is based on the Alhambra Palace in Granada. So it's an absolutely beautiful place to be inspired and enjoy a week of painting. So, a few things going on with me, but let's get back to the painting now. So, you can see how it's developing. And when I'm talking about contrast, you can see here, you know, the light against the dark, that sort of figure at the side, which has come to life, which is dark, and then the light next to it. And you will see as I progress how much more light I put into the painting, and how that sort of starts to bring it really alive. Now, what was so interesting here was this kind of ghostly figure in the background, which again kind of appeared, which fascinated me, and it's giving me a lot to think about. I wonder what your thoughts are about how it's developing. So you can always write in the comments. Obviously ask me questions. I'm answering questions all the time, and tell me what you feel you're getting from this very seems like spiritual painting now. It's come to very fascinating to have a think about what this means to me. So now I'm coming to nearly a conclusion with this painting. And the biggest question that so many people ask me is, how do you know when a painting is finished? Well, really, only you can feel that. Only you will know. But the thing to do is really to step back from it, have a look at your focal points, have a look at your color contrasts, and then maybe leave it overnight, and then come back and see if anything specifically is springing out at you that you need to do extra. And then you will know if it feels right to you. Only you can say. So that's kind of a way to judge if you feel that you've completed the painting. I think I finished it now. Completely transformed, and quite a extraordinary process, I think you would agree. And I'll do some close-ups, and you can have a bigger look at it. But obviously it's completely different and an interesting story to me, and that's something I'm going to have to meditate on. So here's the finished painting. You can see I've done a little bit more to it. I kept going back to it and thinking, I need to do this and I need to do that. So I spent a little bit more time on just doing some extra little details, but certainly very different. And I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to give me the thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you would like more tutorials like this one. So thanks again, and enjoy your painting. Bye for now.